Alright, it's time for me to make a 2x2 tutorial because I got one request from somebody, and that's good enough for me. So, first I'm going to go through a quick example of how we're going to be solving the cube, and we're going to be using an intermediate method called 2-look, OLL, and PLL. Don't worry, it's not that scary. Okay, so, first thing we're going to do is pick a color. I use white, and we're going to make a white cross like this. But not only are we going to make a white cross, these need to also line up. So, that was a really easy one. You got a cross there, even some extra pieces. The next step is to get layers like this, 2 at a time, which is very fast. So to do that, there's one right there. There's another one right there. And there's a third one right there. A fourth one. And then at the top, instead of, this is where it separates from the advanced method that takes forever. Most people that do the very advanced method that memorize hundreds of algorithms will do this in a series of moves. But we go like this and memorize it from a series of like 7 algorithms. And from here, we do another algorithm to solve the top layer. And then we look at this layer right here and decide, okay, this is what algorithm we need to do, and solve the cube. Okay, so before you start solving your cube, you need to know some notation, and basically the most basic unit of notation is the front move. That is called F, and this is F prime, notated with the apostrophe. So F prime. And basically, if you wanted to do an R move, it would be this. Or also, it would be, if you turn the cube the right side facing you, you'd do an F move, which would translate into being an R move. And then so it would be R prime. So here's L, or L prime, and L prime. Down prime, D prime, U prime, U prime, and back prime, B prime. Alright, so here's the scramble I'll be using right here, and it will give you some practice with notation, and that's how we're going to scramble our cube. So alright, so first things first, make our cross, and I'm going to choose the white side. You can do whatever side you want, but it'd be easiest to do the white, just this time for following purposes. So, we have a white piece already, edge piece in place, which is good. So these are, once again, edge pieces right here, and corner pieces, and these are centers. Centers never move. Alright, so, we have one piece already in place, but these don't line up. These need to line up. So, pretty simple. When you have a white edge facing up that is not in the correct space, all you have to do is move it until you line these up. So there we go. We line these up pretty nicely. So that was pretty easy. If we look around the cube, we see these 2 blue pieces are attached, and here's the white. If we were to just move this up, it would bring it in place. But wait, I noticed something here. We have this other piece right here we want to preserve. We want to preserve it because it's on the bottom, the white is facing downwards on the bottom face. This means that's a very easy case to get it into place. So to preserve it, we're just going to move it over with the D move. And then we can bring our blue piece up. Alright, so back to our preserved piece here. It's just like it's on the top, basically. All we have to do is align these colors and flip it up, and it will be into place. So we got one more piece here, and it would be the orange piece. So here it is. If we try and line it up in its place, we can see that the white isn't facing down. So we're faced with a bit of a problem. There are 2 options in this case. The first option is to simply Do a D move to move it to the next layer, and then do an R move and an F prime move to bring it into place, and then whatever move you need to do to bring your other piece back into place. Okay, the other case is where we can do a U2 move, or an F2, and have it incorrectly placed like this. And then to fix this, we put our piece on the bottom face, on the right side, and perform this algorithm. R prime, and then this is going to be called a little u. It means we move both of these layers. Little u, R prime, little u prime, and that will bring it into place. Alright, the next step is the trickiest part in solving the Rubik's Cube, and that's called F2L. Basically, we're going to put these two layers in at the same time. So, there's several different cases for this. The most easiest being if we have the easiest case is where we have basically two opposite colors on the top, okay? So in this case, if we hold the cube like this and the white is on the left side and these are opposite, the move we need to do to put this into place is, or before you do it, you need to make sure that the colors other than your cross need to be next to between their centers. So the move to put this into place is L prime, U prime, L, and that puts both layers like that. The same applies when the white is on the right side and it's the opposite colors on top. It's basically the opposite, and it's basically another easy one, which is right, R, U, R prime. Puts it into place. Okay, but what if it's on the left side, the white is facing the left side, and the colors on top are the same? In this simple case, it's also simple. What we need to do is basically hide this and bring this over here. So we're going to do L, U2, L prime, and that will line these up like we need the bar, and then we'll do U, R, U prime, R prime. This is basically all intuitive stuff, so it's a little tricky. So you can also simply have another easy case. It's just the same, but this is right here. Instead of just doing a U2, we're going to do an L, U, L prime, and that will line up. And then the same applies when you have the green on the, or the white on the facing right, and you have the same on top. You just do a R prime, U2, R, U prime, and then you put it into place. Sometimes you'll find yourself with a case where your white piece is facing up, and this seems like it would take a long time to solve, but really this is one of the easier cases. So if your white piece is facing up, find the edge piece, which is right here, line up the piece that's in this big, and the layers facing you, so line up that color right there, and then you want to turn it away from it where it's supposed to go. So we're going to want to turn it away from here, and that's hiding it basically. And then with our top facing piece, use a U or whatever you need to do to line these up so we get the bar, and then use the R prime to bring them back up, and then just place them in there. And that's it for all the simple cases. There are some more challenging cases you can get, such as sometimes where you have things like this. Okay, so we've got this piece in place, but this needs to go there too. All we need to do here is basically line it up in one of these back two slots, bring our piece up, make sure they're both out of the way, bring that back down, and figure out our case. So after you're done solving each one of these cases, you're going to get to a certain point where you might make some simple mistakes, but are completely understandable. So when you have three sides, three of them solved, you'll have one left over. So if we go into um, if we go in to do our algorithm, in this case where they're the same, okay, bring that into place. We're like, oh, we messed up another one. That's not what we want though. So sometimes in this case, let's go over this case. You want to make sure you don't mess them up. Okay, so these are the same on top, but we don't want to mess this up. So essentially, all we have to do is move it backwards so that the white is right here. And we want to do it so that way we bring this down and there's nothing to mess up here. And we basically make the little pair and bring it up. Alright, so after you're done figuring out the very complicated F2L, I have some links in the description that will help you out with it. It's time to do some OLL, or orienting the last layer. So it's going to basically be solving the top layer, or making the colors line up. So what we're going to be looking for is making another cross on the top. You'll have one of four cases. You'll have this little L thing in the top left, a line, or a bar, a cross, or the dreaded dot. Okay, so it's time to learn a new algorithm. This algorithm is pretty simple, but it's basically a universal algorithm. It will get us to where our cross is. So the algorithm is, with the dot you can hold it anywhere. F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime. So now we have stage 2, if we had the dot, which is the L. Well, you can't really hold the L anywhere like the dot because it's different in each position. You need to hold it so that it's in the top left. Okay, and we're going to do the algorithm again. F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime. And now we have a line. And at this point, this is actually where it gets easier to learn new algorithms. In this case, instead of getting across, I could actually do this. Excuse me. Oops. Sorry. Sorry, that was a fail. I could actually do this. But since we're not that far, you may not be that far advanced yet. We'll continue. So when we have the bar, we need to hold it horizontally so it's left to right, not up to down. And do the same algorithm again. Now we finally have our cross. Pretty simple. Here's the part where we wish we weren't solving a Rubik's Cube from here on out, because this is where we have to learn a lot of algorithms. In total, for this step only, there are 7 algorithms we have to learn. So, some of them are simple, some of them are hard. It can take you a long time, but I'll give you some practice tips.